Bloomberg understands that China is considering suspending its 125% tariffs on some U.S. imports as the economic costs of the trade war weigh heavily on certain industries. Now, goods being considered for potential exemption include medical equipment and some industrial chemicals. Meanwhile, Beijing is vowing to fully prepare emergency plans to ward against increasing external shocks. Joining us now, Brendan Murray, who coordinates our global trade coverage. So, Brendan, there seems to be a conciliatory tone from the White House, but actually China being much more tentative.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a small but initial sign that China is feeling some of the economic pain. It's listening to its importers, and it sounds like it's about to offer some sort of conciliatory move to the Trump administration that would ease tensions even just a little bit. We have heard China for several weeks now pretty much ignore the U.S. Until yesterday when they said, we will sit down with you, but you have to remove all these this very high unilateral tariff, something that the Trump administration would be unlikely to do in the short term. So they're still at an impasse apparently, but it seems like the progress is moving in the direction of de-escalation.
Brendan, what's the next step of this? Again, if you look at de-escalation, is there a press conference that we should be watching out for? We also understand that China could do a lot more on the economy.
Yeah, I think it's the ball is in Trump's court now. As he said last week, it's in China's court. China has come back and said, here are the conditions that we will that we have for negotiation. So we'll see if President Trump is willing to put his money where his mouth is when he says he'd like these talks to happen, and that's going to take, as China has demanded, a lowering of these tariffs. The economic shock from those are going to hit both Asia and the U.S. In very short order.
Brendan, what do we know about China exempting some U.S. goods from again, tariffs as costs rise? Do we know exactly what they're planning to do on what sectors or what companies?
Well, there's some key products used in Chinese manufacturing, in the manufacturing of plastics. There are and some other more heavy machinery equipment that China's companies need to maintain their production. So there's a long list of potential exemptions that's circulating, but whether those actually get carried out, we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, it's just a proposal.
Brendan, there's a lot of talk about the White House, if not, regretting the tariffs, actually having second thoughts on how they went about it. Is this something that you're hearing, or is it something that's pushed by the opposition? Yeah,
it's the White House almost 4 weeks ago sort of came out with this reciprocal tariff plan that surprised the markets and economists for how severe it was. This was going to cause a decoupling of the U.S. and Chinese economies, and it was going to hit allies as well. And I think that there's some recognition that decoupling, and Treasury Secretary Besant has said so, that decoupling is not the goal. Something less than that is, and that the U.S. will need its allies in this struggle to rebalance the U.S. economy against the Chinese economy. So it sounds like there's some deals being negotiated or talks underway to get deals on the table. That things are moving in a more dovish direction when it comes to tariffs. That the Trump administration has essentially realized that it may do more economic harm to the U.S. economy than good.